And ABC News contributor and former UK national security official Steve Hill is here for more on that. Steve, Poland's accusing Russia of unprecedented aggression after shooting down these drones. How much does this escalate tensions in the region?
I mean, this was very clearly a deliberate act. One missile, one drone going into Polish territory a couple of years ago, even killing Polish farmers, can be discounted as being accidental. But this is 19 drones. It's clearly deliberate. It fits the pattern of what President Putin has been doing, testing the limits, pushing the envelope, whether that's in cyberspace, whether that's assassinations and sabotage that we've been seeing in Europe, flying planes into European airspace. Constantly, we see that testing of the limits. And so I think in that way, it's an escalation, but it's not an unprecedented escalation. We've seen a lot of it.
What kind of action can NATO allies take here?
So I think it's very unlikely that there will be any sort of military or indeed covert action response to this. But diplomatically, I think there will be a response. And I think with President Trump coming to the UK next week, that equation, this may backfire on President Putin because the European line has been President Putin won't stop at Ukraine, he will go further. And secondly, he's not serious about these peace talks. What will change the equation is if President Trump decides to push up his pressure on President Putin through economic measures and perhaps other measures as well.
So, Steve, how will this incident impact peace talks between Russia and Ukraine in the future?
Those peace talks don't seem to be making much progress. One has the sense, and I suspect that the Beijing summit with President Xi may have even more emboldened President Putin. He's demonstrating, he's trying to push forward in a military sense. The level of attacks of Ukraine has clearly gone up since the Alaska summit and over recent weeks. President Putin is pushing things in a way where he feels he can demonstrate strength. I think now is the opportunity for NATO to push back on that narrative. It's the opportunity for President Trump to push back and say, just as we will judge President Putin on his actions, not his words, President Putin can judge us on our actions, not just our words, which will clearly be blaming and criticizing. But this will have to go beyond just words, I think, to be effective. So I think I'm very interested to see to what degree this comes up in London next week with President Trump.
All right. ABC News contributor Steve Hill, we appreciate it. As always, Steve, thank you.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you, Diane.